Well, hello everybody, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you were welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. My name is Stephen the Jupiterian here, and actually in less than 24 hours from now that I'm recording this, the sun will be entering the sign of Taurus at 12:56 p.m. on the West Coast, which means it'll be 3:56 p.m. on the East Coast and afternoon, evening hours in New Zealand and overseas, or in in Europe. Uh, so here's the time clock. Actually, let me just get rid of my chart. Yeah, because the sun will be at 0 degrees of Taurus on the west coast. Leo will be on the rise, where Mars has recently moved into Leo after a long retrograde and long travel back, traveling forward through Cancer, and now it's in Leo, where we can take some action. We don't have to be um, dealing with emotional um, things. It'll be, well, still um, instead of reactionary and acting on emotions, we'll be acting uh, deliberately, acting um, very Leo. All right. Well, actually, I'm going to, well, yes, Mars in Leo. Well, be commanding, maybe over a little headstrong, bossy. You may have some rage. You may be a little arrogant and a little overly sensitive to criticism. Could also be pretentious and self-centered at this time too, with Mars and Aries. So yeah, here we are. I'm gonna share this again. Mars, Leo. Well, if you're Leo, you could be all those things. You could be self-centered, arrogant. Uh, you could get angry a lot easier. But it's square. This is making a square to the sun. So, uh, although the sun is lighting up your 10th house of career, how people see you. So, yes, actually put your first best face forward, Leo, at this time with Mars going through your first house. Mm. And Mars is making an opposition to Pluto. to your seventh house. But make sure your devotional energy is in your home. All right. And so, yes, the moon is in Capricorn. It moved into Capricorn yesterday, Friday, the 18th of April. And then let's move this into days. What is next? What's happening next? At the end of the month, Saturn will be entering Aries, or like May 4th, maybe. Nope, not May 4th. Jupiter has moved 22 degrees of Gemini by May 8th. Mercury is at 27 degrees. Venus has moved into Aries. That's right. Venus moves into Aries at the end of the month to May 1st. So we're getting into May and Taurus. Well, we're in Taurus season. And the 27th of April, we had this new moon. And by the May 1st, the moon will be in Cancer. And then Saturn enters Aries on May 25th. On May 25th, early in the morning, May 25th, on the West Coast. It'll be 6:56 when it's 0 degrees and 1 minute of Aries. Saturn is moving into Aries at the end of May. And Mars is still in Leo. Pluto is retrograde now, right? Because Pluto was at 3 degrees and 45 minutes. And today, and then we go in a day from now. The sun moves into Taurus. Okay, then we move. There you go. All right, yes. By May 4th, May 4th, Pluto goes retrograde. And Mars is 7 degrees. It's still within orbit of each other, the way they're still in opposition on May the 4th. And then June 9th is the next big thing when Jupiter changes signs and moves into Cancer on June 9th. Well, this before the sun moves into Gemini. That's right. Oh, on May 20th, the sun moves into Gemini. And then June 9th. Whoops. June 9th. Later, late in the day, they'll be conjunct New Mercury. Wow. What you communicate and how you and what you communicate about will be conjunct with each other. Pretty cool. Well, it'll be conjunct in Gemini. And then they follow each other June 9th. They're still communicating well. What you how and how you communicate and what you're talking about, the content, the um and details will be very uh succinct, and you can get your point across. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Quite well with Mercury and Saturn, Jupiter together. Wow, conjunct together, actually. We can go back in hours. We Mercury and Jupiter together at 29 degrees, which is will be very interesting time. Here you go. Yes, exactly. With Virgo rising. Virgo, Mercury rules your sign, and it's conjunct Jupiter at 29 degrees 46 minutes. Hold on. And now we're up to June. Uranus will be making a square to Mars, and the moon will square Mars, and Uranus will oppose the moon. So we have this T square energy. Just for one day only. Because let's see, if we move this a day, the moon will be in, should be in Sagittarius next day. Yes. So it's only for one day, some short hours. Not even a full day, 24 hours. Yep. We'll have the moon in Sagittarius, which will be opposing, well, nothing, that is not an opposition. This is an inconjunct to Mercury. Or a quincunx, whatever you want to call that. And then Venus will be in Taurus. I think this summer will be very nice and very productive summer. It'll be filled with curiosity, some fun, some down to earth elements of every sensual pleasure, since Venus is in her sign of Taurus, which is very tactile, tangible, sensual, sexual, yeah. Sensual things there. All the Venus will enjoy all the senses. Um, Music, sounds, tastes, and things you can touch and feel tactilely. So it's going to be very interesting and an interesting summer with Saturn in Aries as well. Will be very pioneering. And I think that's all I want to share with you for now. That's just, I wanted to share what these next couple months will be. Well, actually, let's go to August, because that's still summer. August. Okay, let's see. Mars has moved all the way to Virgo for August. Neptune is retrograde. And then Venus moves into Gemini, conjunct Uranus in Gemini. Or July, sorry, July. That was June 9th. So then July 9th, Uranus goes into Gemini around that time. So this July 7th. Yeah. 6th or 7th. Uranus moves into Gemini. That's the next planet that changes signs. So more change in our communication. Will be unusual, getting into unusual curiosities here. Uh, it's no longer in Taurus. Uranus will no longer be in Taurus. Uranus is in Gemini. And then we'll go move this into another month to August, where Saturn is retrograde. Mercury retrograde in August in Leo. And then September, Saturn moves back into Pisces. October, what else happens in October? Not much. And then November, Neptune moves back into Pisces for and then Uranus moves it back into Taurus in December. And by December, Venus will be in Sagittarius. So Venus moved from from Pisces all the way to Sagittarius by December. And then we go to January in 2026. Pluto is retrograde, is direct, or actually by January, yeah. Pluto is direct, moving direct. So are Saturn and Neptune. And then we go a week, January 14th, January 21st, January 28th. The Neptune moves in back into Aries. And then we move into February. March. Right. March, Saturn will move back to Aries. No, by February. By February 14th, 13th, 14th, Saturn moves it back into Aries. Uranus is moving forward until Uranus enters goes back into Gemini. Um, we're looking at Uranus right here, which is at 29 degrees of Taurus on April 14th. And then by April 26th, Uranus will, yes, Uranus moves into Gemini again. And everything is going direct, correct, at this time? Yes. And everything is, every planet is in a new sign. Jupiter is no longer retrograde. And everything is a new sign and moving forward. So the first part of the first 3 or 4 months of 2026 will be a reevaluation of what happened um, previously and moving forward. Going to be a brand new world with Uranus and Gemini. The way we communicate will be different, unusual, erratic too, possible, because Uranus is erratic, is revolutionary. And I want to also open um the chart of the United States. And so the inner chart is the United States, where Uranus, the natal Uranus for the United States chart is in Gemini at 8 degrees. And we're getting closer to that. Let's move this into 8. Well, here it is close. It's at 8 degrees. Well, your Neptune is in Venus is conjunct Neptune, transit Venus. We move ahead to 2027, maybe in 2027, a year. Uranus is at 4 degrees of Gemini, 4 degrees away. So if we look at the United States chart alone, here's the United States chart. Sagittarius rising, moon in Aquarius. So this is all about the people, the third house, we the people. And this is also other people with Uranus and Mars here in the 7th house. And the Sun, Jupiter, and Venus, or I should say Venus, Jupiter, and the Sun, and Mercury are in the 8th house of the United States chart. It's July 4th, 1776. This was when they signed the Declaration of Independence, I believe, or was it Constitution? One of those. when this country was officially born. I think it was the Declaration of Independence. And so yeah, if we look at the clock, so the outer wheel, this is right now. And Mars is getting closer to the United States North Node in the 9th house of philosophy. Interesting, huh? I think that the United States has an Aquarius South Node, a Leo North Node. Of individual rights, individual laws. Interesting, I think. I find that very, very cool. And yes, well, I will show you more of this because Uranus is coming back to uh, Gemini in the United States natal chart, where lots of things will be changing with adversaries and people we work with that are one-to-one contact, need contracts. Well, okay, actually, thank you for watching. My name is Stephen the Jupiterian. Until next time, Don't forget to hit that like button, thumbs up, give me a thumbs up. Uh, Subscribe if you're new here. And thank you to 156 and counting subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you. And post a comment. If so, obliged to do so. All right. Thank you for watching. Stephen the Jupiterian out.